that will make fun of. It's not like that. It's a fairly cut and dry scientific explanation, in my opinion. All right, let's go back to the questions here. Rob from Dallas, Texas. How does the media... I have these in front of me, but it was behind. I really didn't know I'd get into this. How does the media play a role in UFOs, or does it? I see a lot more exposure lately, but not sure if that is doing anything. Well, Rob, I'm kind of glad I put the questions in this order because it was kind of a natural progression here. Yes, the media does, I think, latch onto this topic, but I think the role that they play is the negative one. I think that many of the jokes and the puns and the stupid comments by the desk anchors, no offense to any desk anchors that might be listening, but those stupid comments at the end of a UFO story, albeit it might be 3 minutes of very serious UFO news coverage, and then all of a sudden they bounce back to the news anchor and he's got that 10-second really witty comment to say. Well, that really didn't do anything for the piece there, and unfortunately what you take away is that 10-second joke at the end of the piece, and it really kind of blows any legitimacy that may have been in the news article, or I'm sorry, in the news piece. Now, the recent exposure, in I would say maybe the last 10 months or so, is, I think, very evident. When you search Google News for UFO, you do see a lot of UFO stories from across the globe, from the UK to the US. The media is really latching on to this topic and profiling it, sometimes in not a fantastic way, but at least they're profiling it. My personal opinion is this some kind of pre-disclosure event that is kind of foreshadowing what's to come? No, I don't think so, although some will argue with me on that. I think what this is it stems from the news article that appeared the very top of this year in 2007 on the Chicago O'Hare UFO sighting, which you may have heard about right here on the Black Vault Radio. We've talked about it a little bit. Memory serves me well. I know Stanton Friedman and I talked about it briefly a few months ago when I had him on the program. And if you missed that, by the way, you can request any show online that you may have missed on the Black Vault Radio. You can download them all. The Chicago Tribune ran that story on the Chicago O'Hare sighting. And the amount of traffic that it got, because I considered it a fairly serious piece, and they weren't really making fun of the topic. It was a straightforward reporting, again, if memory serves me well on the actual article. But it was straightforward reporting, and it got an ungodly amount of traffic. And in the history of Chicago Tribune's website, never have they had a story that was hit as many times as that one piece on a UFO article. Now, you tell me, why? Why? With a big fat question mark behind it. Why? The public is obviously interested in this topic. If it was really stupid and laughable, who would care about downloading or reading that article? But look what happened. It got forwarded around the globe. Chicago Tribune got slammed with traffic, all because of what? A UFO story. Now, on the internet, it's all about money. Don't let anybody ever tell you that the media, especially these newspapers, are trying to do honest reporting. I don't buy it, because I truly believe after the .com crash, these media outlets that are trying to make the dough are doing anything to make the dough. And the advertising really is just nil. When you go onto a news website, you see how many flash ads come up and videos that play at you. And sometimes if I have my volume too high and I go to a website that has one of those animated advertisements with sound, I don't know if you guys have ever run into this, but one of those animated ads, and they've got sounds built in. And then if the mouse goes over it, it starts talking at you or screaming at you. And it has scared the heck out of me. And you know, if I'm late at night checking the news headlines or something, it just scares the bejeebers out of me. But that's what media is going to, is they're doing anything to get a dollar from the advertisements. That, to me, ties in the Chicago Tribune article. Now, whether John Hilkovich, the reporter of that article, whatever his intention was, I don't know. I tried to get him on the program to talk about the sighting and all of that publicity, but unfortunately I never got a call back or a response back. I don't know what his intent was, but I think that media outlets around the world saw that and recognized, oh my God, if we do a UFO story, we'll get free advertising across the globe. It'll be forwarded, and that's an internet website owner's dream, is to have a article or something with their name attached and their .com attached forwarded across the globe. That's 100% free advertising, and Chicago Tribune found that out, probably unintentionally, because I don't think anybody knew that millions, literally millions of people would download that one article within days. I just don't think that anybody expected that. But they took notice of it. And I believe that that is the root of many of these new UFO articles that we're seeing, and all of this exposure that the topic is getting. And even myself, the Black Vault and my work is being recognized by many media outlets. And whether or not they're trying to get the information out, or they think it's a cool story, or I'm a cool story, whatever. But it is very interesting that not even a year after the onslaught of traffic to that article, look at the exposure that's happening with the UFO phenomenon. So that's my 2 cents on how the media plays a role in the UFO topic. Okay, Evan Peters from Boise, Idaho. Why is the UFO topic so unbelievable to so many people? Do we really have evidence that would convince the masses? Well, Evan, I think I don't think we do. I think that that's why, and I hope you're listening, but I think that that's why you're listening to the program. I think that's why everybody's listening to the program. We don't have that smoking gun. We don't have that final proof. And I think that that's the draw. That's the intrigue. That's the that's really the... I have no other way to say it. That's the draw, Evan. That's why we're all here, because we don't have the answer, but we're all looking for it. Dick from New York, New York. Dick R. from New York, New York. Will disclosure ever happen? Dick, that's $1 million question in the field of ufology, in the study of UFOs, field of ufology. Will disclosure ever happen? For those of you not familiar with the term, will the government ever come clean, is the nutshell definition of disclosure. Dick, I don't believe so. I've had that conversation not only with Steve Bassett, but a few other times here on the Black Vault Radio. I don't see the government coming clean anytime soon. I don't think they have to. I think that really it's up to us. And I gave a lecture. I was very honored to be the MC again this year at the International MUFON Symposium in Denver, Colorado. And I gave a lecture. No cameras in the room, by the way, so unfortunately you can't see it. But I talked about the disclosure issue and talked about if it would happen. And I truly think that we're stuck on the definition of disclosure being the U.S. government or U.S. military telling us, hey, UFOs are real and here's evidence. Or we have this information and data. Oh my gosh, isn't it amazing? We're sorry we lied for the last 65 years, but here you go. I don't see that happening at all. I truly believe that we have to get out of that definition, and we have to realize that disclosure starts, Dick, with you and I. It starts with everybody who's listening. If you want to know more, there's a ton of information to find. I'm not trying to limit you to the blackvault.com. Go out there, search Google. Start looking at all that information on the UFO topic. It's phenomenal how much there is out there, how much evidence there is. And after this coming break, I'm going to talk about one of the newest ventures of the Black Vault that's really compiling that evidence, compiling the data, and I think really kind of disclosing in a way to the public, hey, this topic is real. We don't know what it is. The top experts have ideas, they have theories, but no one can tell you what it really is, what the UFO phenomenon really is. Nobody has those answers. So, Dick, disclosure is with you and I, my good buddy. So stick with me, both in disclosure and right here on the Black Vault Radio. Only time for a couple more questions, so stay tuned. I'm going to get through as many as I can. We'll have to do a second hour with this. I would have never, ever guessed. You're listening to the Black Vault Radio. I'm John Greenewald. Stay tuned.